What's up, YouTube? It's me, your guy, T-Belly here, with a brand new video featuring Captain Algebra.
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and I'm here with my pickups from February and March of 2020. Now I know it's not the end of March yet, but Midwest Gaming Classic is first weekend of April, so I'm saving money up for that. So let's see what I got in the last month and a few days. We'll start with the Switch games. Basically, it's just Switch and PS4 this month, no retro stuff. First one was new Super Lucky's Tale. So I had a little bit of money from working some extra time at school doing like the basketball games and stuff. And so I went to Best Buy and some of the game that looked interesting. I love 3D platformer adventure games, and so this one looked pretty good. And it's pretty solid. It's a little easy, definitely more kiddish, but I enjoyed it. It really reminds me of Spyro. Just because it's got like your main hub world, and each main hub world you've got different levels you can go to, and then the levels you got collectibles to get, and you have to open up a certain number of collectibles in order to open up the boss door for that hub world, and then go to the next hub world. But it's got some fun different levels. Some are side-scrolling, some are actually like 3D, some are like running levels where the Lucky automatically runs, and then you have to tell them when to jump and all that stuff. And there's a certain amount of collectibles you have to collect in each level. So it's pretty solid. I had a lot of fun. I actually played through it already and really enjoyed it. And the next one, Ring Fit Adventure. So I was telling my wife I want to get a little bit better shape, but I hate working out. I can't stand it. So like I've done the Insanity workout before, and like it really helps, but I just don't have the motivation. Plus, those ones are like 40 minutes long. So I'm like, hey, a video game? Maybe this could help. So I really enjoy it. As you go, so you like jog through the levels, and then when you come to enemies to fight, it's like a turn-based battle, and you do certain exercises like squats or yoga poses to fight them. And then as you play through the game, you unlock more and more moves you can do. I really enjoy it. I have not done enough to see if it actually like helps you get in better shape or anything. But I've had a lot of fun with it. So even if it's not helping with the getting in shape, at least it's fun to play. So definitely recommend that one. And now for the main event, the PS4, the best console of this generation. Suck it, Switch. I'm just kidding, guys. Let's see, what do we want to start with? So after the last Metal Jesus and Radical Reggie pickup video, Radical Reggie talked about Red Art Games out of France, and he talked about Halloween Forever, I think, which is a platformer, and of course when I went to the website, that was already sold out. Thanks, Metal Jesus and Reggie. I'm just kidding. But there were some other games I thought looked interesting. So I picked up The Deer God. So this is like an action platformer game where you start out as a hunter, and as you're trying to shoot a buck, some wolves come up behind you and attack you, and then you get transported in front of this like elder deer, and they turn you into a deer, and you have to pay for all the hurt you've done to animals in the past. And it's kind of cool. It's got RPG elements because you collect different moves as you go. You get like a double jump right away, and you have to pass the trials of each elder deer god. But then there's also a spectrum that you can be either evil or kind, so I'm sure that changes how the ending is. It's a little weird at times. Sometimes I can't really figure out what to do. Sometimes I just feel like I'm running to the right forever and I miss something, but I don't know, it seemed kind of interesting. Then the next two are shooters from Red Art Games. First one, Ice Cream Surfer. So this is a cute 'em up where basically this broccoli is mad that you don't want to eat your vegetables, and so he comes up with a bunch of healthy food to attack you and your ice cream. And there's I think 5 or 6 different people you can be. They are each riding or using a different type of ice cream, like either ice cream cone or an ice cream sandwich, something like that. And they all actually have different ways of fighting. Like one guy's really big, but his shots don't go as far. There's a guy who's looks like Superman, who shoots like lasers out of his eyes. But then as you go, you can get power-ups like an option. You can get a shield. You can increase your firepower. So it's pretty fun so far. It's a solid shooter. And all these games were like, I think 10 to 15 euros. Obviously it was a little bit more expensive in US dollars, but it was pretty cheap for these games. And then the last game from Red Art Games is another shooter, Full Blast. So this is more traditional. It's a vertical scrolling shooter. It's your typical stuff. You collect power-ups to get your weapon better. You can get double score. You can regenerate your health. And this one actually does have a health bar, which is pretty plentiful. It takes a lot to kill you, whereas Ice Cream Surfer is just one-hit kills. But one thing bad about this is I platinumed this game, and I've only played the first 3 stages. So that was kind of disappointing. Like, I wish they would have made a platinum for the entire game, you know? It's pretty fun. Nothing special, but again, a cheap shooter, and so I picked it up. Alright, next, went to GameStop looking for a certain game that Radical Reggie talked about in the pickups video again, and this one was brand new at GameStop for $9.99, and that's Sparklight. So this is an RPG action-adventure type game similar to Zelda. You start off on this ship, you're being attacked, so you have to parachute down, and you're in this world, and all of a sudden this family necklace of yours opened this door, and you're going through this tunnel and doing some missions for people to help them out, and you run into this boss that basically just kills you. And so they pick you up and they tell you what's happening and stuff, and then you start on your adventure. So it's pretty fun so far. Again, it's very similar to Zelda, those type of games. I'm not very far into it, but for $10 brand new, I think it's definitely worth it. I don't know if it came out on more than just PS4 or not, but if you can find it, definitely pick it up. And then while I was there, I found another game that I had to pick up, and that was Bubsy Paws on Fire Limited Edition. So I really liked the Bubsy Woolie Strike Back game, and so when I saw this and it was super cheap, I'm like, oh, I'll try it out. This one's a little different. The Woolie Strike Back is just your typical action platformer Bubsy game, whereas this one is an automatic runner, and where you just have to go through each level and collect all the collectibles. And there are 3 characters. Bubsy can, when he jumps, he can kind of glide. There's another guy who can slide on the ground underneath things, and then there's a Woolie who it becomes like a shooter. And then so you play basically each level with each character to be able to unlock later levels. And then if you collect the 3 pieces to a medallion for each person, so a total of 9 pieces, you open up another level where you're kind of like sliding down a tube. It reminds me of the Sonic 2 bonus levels to get the Chaos Emeralds. And as you're going down the tube, you have to slide around and collect these gems and stuff. But pretty solid game. I've always liked the Bubsy games, so if you like Bubsy, check it out. Then when I was at Best Buy, when I picked up Super Lucky's Tale, the other game I picked up was Lego DC Supervillains. So this one's always been on my mind ever since I saw it come out, because I love the Lego games and I love comic books, and sometimes it's just fun to be the villains. And so when I saw this, I had to have it. I like the Flash show on CW, and so when I saw the Reverse Flash on him, I'm like, that's awesome, I gotta be him. But it's your typical Lego game. You know, if you've played one Lego game, you've played them all. But this is just kind of cool that you get to be the villains. And this one actually adds in, I think this is the first time, where you get to create your own supervillain, and you actually start the game playing as him. I've actually heard that some of the complaints about this game is you don't play with that character enough. Especially since, you start the game customizing and stuff, it'd be nice. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool Lego game. Then, from Strictly Limited, a game I've been waiting for, it seems, I think, like a year for it. And they kept pushing it back, and that's Ultra Core. So as soon as I heard that this was a Lost Run and Gun game that was originally supposed to be on the Sega Genesis, I immediately bought it when it came out. And I know Gaming Off the Grid did a review on it. They loved it. And I like it too. Now, they kind of mentioned how it's similar to Contra. I mean, I wouldn't say it's quite like that. I mean, Contra's just you run through the level, it's linear. But this is a little more exploration. It's kind of more Metroidvania-esque. With each level, you get to go different paths and finding different things. But one thing that does suck is the timer. I hate timers in levels, especially where you have to search around stuff. That's kind of annoying. Give me time to actually search everywhere. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting that a little bit more. And then finally, a game that took forever to get here, but I'm so glad it did. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Mega Edition. So, fun story for this one. I had this one ordered. It was sent out, I think, December 24th. And limited run uses UPS Innovation. So UPS picks it up, then they bring it to USPS, the local post office, and then it gets delivered to you. Well, this one was said on UPS that it was delivered to the post office, but then it was stuck there for days and days and days. So I went there, tried to figure it out. They said they never got it, and that it actually happens quite a bit. So then when I tried to contact UPS, they kept saying that the tracking number I had was a USPS tracking number. Yet they're the ones who last had it. And so it was just terrible. Nobody was helpful, post office or UPS, and it was really pissing me off. But luckily, limited run is great. They said, after 30 days, if there's no movement on it, let us know. We'll see if we can either give you a refund or a replacement. Luckily, they had a replacement because I really wanted the Mega Edition because I'm such a big Power Ranger fan. And so they sent it to me, and this one luckily made it here on time, so that was good. And this is basically a 3-on-3 fighting game, similar to like Marvel vs. Capcom games. But sometimes it might be 1 vs. 2 or 2 vs. 1, depending on what's happening. There's a story mode, there's arcade mode, there's online play. But it's really cool. There's tons of different characters in it from all over the Power Ranger saga. You got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you've got Lord Draken, you've got Lord Zed, you got Goldar, and then you've got some other Power Ranger people that I'm really not sure of since I only watched the Power Rangers, or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But it's cool because you can do assists like you can in Marvel vs. Capcom. There's special moves. You can use the Megazord and the Dragon Zord to do special moves when you get a meter filled up. And what I like about this game is it's a very basic fighting game. The moves are very easy to pull off, and I like that. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but this seems like a lot of fun. Plus, it's the Power Rangers, so really, really cool. Glad I got it. You might be able to still find the regular edition. I think Chris Pico said you could get that one at Best Buy, but I really wanted the Mega Edition. So glad I finally got it. And I don't know. Now every time I buy something in the mail, I'm worried it's not going to make it here. So there you go. Those are the pickups for February and March of 2020. Again, no buying anything except for maybe Doom Eternal, because I really want that game before MGC, because we got a lot of stuff to buy there. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought was best out of this month's pickups. And until next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.